On March 4th, the first day of the CCP's 2 sessions, at around 5:18 a.m., a huge fireball fell over the sky of Beijing, streaked with a green tail. It exploded during descent, bursting into a dazzling green light, illuminating the night sky. A Beijing netizen captured this scene while driving. Various astronomical stations in Beijing also captured this strange sight. On March 3rd, a fireball also appeared over the sky of Hami, Xinjiang. The fireball fell from the sky, suddenly emitting a dazzling bright light and seemingly with a blue glow. It quickly disappeared after illuminating the night sky. Meanwhile, Inner Mongolia also observed fireballs. Coincidentally, several weeks ago, residents of Hunan also captured traces of unidentified flying objects in the sky, suspected to be fireballs. Traditional Chinese culture emphasizes the unity of heaven and humanity. The appearance of fireballs is often interpreted as a precursor to significant events on Earth, such as the deaths of important figures or impending disasters like plagues or wars. It is widely believed that fireballs herald signs of social unrest, often related to the downfall of regimes and considered ominous omens. CCP's official media has almost no coverage of the fireballs that appeared during this year's 2 sessions. However, videos of the fireball sightings have gone viral on Chinese social media. Some netizens believe this hints that Xi Jinping, the leader of the CCP, might step down or something unexpected might happen to him. In addition to fireballs, starting from the first day of the 2 sessions, mainland China has experienced earthquakes for 3 consecutive days. On March 4th, Xinjiang, Tibet, Gansu, and Liaoning were hit by earthquakes one after another. According to the China Earthquake Network Center, at 3:54 p.m. on March 4th, a 4.4 magnitude earthquake struck Akchi County, Kyzyl Kyrgyz Autonomous Prefecture, Xinjiang, with a focal depth of 10 kilometers. On March 6th, the third day of the 2 sessions, at 8:09 a.m., a 4.7 magnitude earthquake struck Ruturpan County, Aksu Prefecture, Xinjiang, with a focal depth of 10 kilometers. Starting from 2024, Xinjiang has been hit by earthquakes multiple times. At 2:09 a.m. on January 23rd, a 7.1 magnitude earthquake struck Ruturpan County. This scene was recorded by netizens.
Recently, I don't know what's going on in Xinjiang. There was one earthquake during the Lantern Festival, and now another one. Frequent earthquakes. To avoid them, people living in high-rise buildings have started moving into their cars. It's hard to imagine that in such a cold place like Xinjiang, people have to spend the night in their cars.
Qinghai has also recently experienced consecutive earthquakes. According to the China Earthquake Network Center, at 10:07 a.m. on March 5th, a 5.3 magnitude earthquake struck Zadui County, Yushu, Qinghai. On March 7th, at 6:06 p.m., a 5.5 magnitude earthquake struck here again. On the evening of March 4th, a 3.1 magnitude earthquake also occurred in Haicheng, Anshan, Liaoning Province, with a focal depth of 10 kilometers. The shaking was strong. It sparked discussions on the internet. On the same day, a 3.7 magnitude earthquake struck Sunan Uyghur Autonomous County, Zhangye, Gansu Province. The frequency of earthquakes across China has raised unease among the Chinese public. They question the unusual uptick in seismic activity. It is worth noting that in late February, hundreds of Chinese citizens reported witnessing red-colored clouds moving in the sky, with many saying that it was a sign of a major earthquake. On the first day of this year's 2 sessions, the sudden cancellation of the Premier's press conference has sparked widespread outcry, both domestically and internationally. Currently, the CCP is facing internal and external troubles, and the situation is getting worse day by day. The cancellation of the Premier's press conference is interpreted as a signal that the situation of the Chinese Communist regime is deteriorating, which could lead to 3 major consequences. Firstly, this move may be perceived by other countries as further evidence of China's growing opacity and closed-off nature, exacerbating negative perceptions of China and potentially dissuading some investors from considering China for investment. Moreover, Xi Jinping, already associated with a regressive and authoritarian image, may see this action further tarnish his reputation, exacerbating public discontent and mistrust. Thirdly, this move may also cause dissatisfaction and resentment among some people inside and outside the party, potentially laying the groundwork for future political changes. Meteorite falls in ancient China were often regarded as warnings from the heavens. Several meteorite events in modern times in China seem to have proven this point. In 1971, a meteorite shower occurred in Shuangyang, Jilin province. Later that year, on September 13th, the then second-ranking figure in the CCP, Lin Biao, died in a plane crash in Mongolia. On March 8, 1976, another meteorite shower hit Jilin, with 3 particularly large meteorites falling. When Mao Zedong's personal nurse, Meng Jinyun, read about this news, Mao's reaction was unusually strange, showing signs of unease and fear, and he pondered for a long time. When Meng Jinyun asked why meteorites were falling from the sky, Mao's response was quite interesting. He said that such occurrences were not uncommon in history, with many records in historical texts and countless more in unofficial accounts. As expected, in the same year, 3 of the CCP's top leaders, Zhou Enlai, Zhu De, and Mao Zedong, passed away successively. A massive earthquake struck Tangshan, Hebei, claiming over 240,000 lives. Moreover, there was a political upheaval within the CCP, leading to the arrest of the Gang of Four political faction and its supporters. Reformists within the system began rectifying injustices, and China entered a relatively liberal period. On April 15, 1986, a meteorite event occurred in Suizhou City, Hubei province. Later that year, senior CCP leaders demanded the resignation of General Secretary Hu Yaobang. On February 15, 1997, a meteorite shower hit Juancheng, Heze City, Shandong province. 4 days later, the CCP officially announced the passing of Deng Xiaoping. In Western history, meteorite explosions have often been seen as omens of great changes. On the night of August 18, 1783, residents of the British Isles witnessed a rare bolide event. These meteors emitted exceptionally bright light as they traversed the atmosphere, even brighter than a full moon. Shortly thereafter, on September 3, 1783, representatives from Britain such as David Hartley and Richard Oswald, and from the United States, including Benjamin Franklin, John Jay, and John Adams, gathered at the Hotel d'York in Paris to sign the Treaty of Paris, marking the end of the 8-year American Revolutionary War. Similarly, on July 20, 1860, a rare astronomical phenomenon occurred in the United States. A long string of fireballs streaking across the night sky from Vermont in the north to Virginia in the south, and from the Great Lakes in the west to the Atlantic Ocean in the east. Several months later, significant changes occurred in the world. In November 1860, Abraham Lincoln was elected President of the United States. Lincoln opposed slavery, a policy strongly resisted by Southern states, ultimately leading to the outbreak of the Civil War. The mysterious Tunguska event in Russia in 1908 is believed to have been caused by a meteorite impact. In this disaster, an area of primitive forest covering 2,000 square kilometers was destroyed, and large areas of permafrost melted in the swamps. Some scholars speculate that around 65 million years ago, Earth collided with a meteorite about 10 kilometers in diameter, triggering a massive explosion that led to the extinction of most dinosaurs and other flora and fauna. It is said that the sudden disappearance of the ancient Indians who once created the brilliant Mayan culture is also related to meteorites. In recent years, China has not only experienced frequent strange celestial phenomena, but also showed significant anomalies in climate change. Specifically, on January 22, 2023, the lowest temperature in Mohe, Heilongjiang, dropped to negative 53 degrees Celsius. What does minus 53 degrees feel like? Here's a brick normally used for construction. When it's dropped, it breaks into 2 pieces. And here's a piece of clothing just washed. Wearing it now probably offers bulletproof protection. Beijing experienced its coldest December in 70 years, while Guangdong faced its coldest winter solstice in 40 years, and Nanjing saw its coldest winter solstice in 31 years. Data from Beijing's meteorological observation stations showed that from December 11th to 24th last year, Beijing recorded over 300 hours of sub-zero temperatures, setting a record low since 1951. Shanghai also had its coldest December in 40 years, with temperatures below -1 degree Celsius for 5 consecutive days. In southern China, several areas set new lows on December 22nd, the coldest in nearly 40 years. Many netizens posted videos showing themselves needing multiple blankets for sleeping. While some of these videos may be staged, they still reflect the unusually cold winter of 2023. While winters are unusually cold, summers are unusually hot. On July 16th, the highest temperature in Sanbaoxiang, Turpan, Xinjiang reached 52.2 degrees Celsius. From the video, we can see local residents in Turpan lying on the ground to cool off because of this extreme heat. Sanitation workers start their shifts after 8 p.m. because it's too hot. Other netizens shared videos showing just how hot summers in Guangdong can get. Pouring water on the ground instantly boils. Summer in Henan was also unusual. One man wearing a mask got sunburned after just one morning outside. Customers receiving Coke deliveries found that because of the heat, the bottles were deformed. The hot pavement turned corn kernels into popcorn, and you can even fry eggs on it. Meanwhile, the national average temperature also set a record high since 1961. According to data from the China National Climate Center, in 2023, the temperatures in 13 provinces, municipalities, and autonomous regions reached their highest levels since 1961. Daily maximum temperatures at 127 national meteorological stations exceeded historical records. China's abnormal weather phenomena don't stop there. Typically, southwestern and southern China see more rainfall. However, since 2023, severe droughts have hit Guizhou and neighboring provinces. Guangxi, Guizhou, Yunnan, and Sichuan have experienced extensive severe meteorological droughts, with Yunnan, Sichuan, and Guizhou reaching extreme-level droughts. Guizhou Province, located in the subtropical East Asian monsoon region, usually has a mild, comfortable climate with little temperature variations. However, from February 10th to 22nd, 221 forest fires broke out throughout Guizhou, burning an area equivalent to 2 Taiwans, destroying all the livestock carefully raised by farmers. The situation of the wildfires in Guizhou this time is extremely dangerous. Due to strong winds, the fire spread very rapidly. Dozens of peaks on the mountains were swallowed by flames, creating a scene resembling a fiery dragon. The fire has affected a wide range of areas, with countless ignition points, and flames can even be seen along the highways. An elderly man wept helplessly as his house was reduced to ashes by the wildfire, along with everything he had worked for throughout his life. Apart from the elderly man and his wife, only 2 dogs and a chicken survived. Faced with the loss brought about by the wildfire, they feel immensely sad and hopeless. Director Yang Xudong of the Risk Monitoring and Fire Prevention Unit of the Emergency Management Department of the CCP pointed out that the temperature in southwestern Guizhou this year is 2 to 4 degrees Celsius higher than usual, while the precipitation has decreased by 50 to 80% compared to the same period last year. From January to April last year, the precipitation in southern Guizhou, including the 3 autonomous prefectures of Qiannan, Qiandongnan, and Qianxinan, decreased by more than 50% compared to the same period in previous years, with some areas even experiencing a reduction of over 80%. This is the most severe drought the region has experienced since meteorological records began in 1961. The drought has caused a shortage of local water resources. As of April 10th last year, there were different degrees of water supply difficulties in 16 counties and cities in the province, affecting a population of over 1 million. At the same time, the drought has caused significant losses to agricultural production, with nearly 133,000 hectares of crops affected, including maize, rapeseed, and rice, with an affected area of over 66,000 hectares. This natural disaster caused by climate change is beyond people's expectations. What's even more surprising is that areas of Qinghai province, which are typically dry, have experienced sudden flooding. In Qinghai Province, the water level of Dongge-Chuona Lake in Madui County, Golok Prefecture, rose on February 18th, leading to the collapse of the left wall of the chamber. The sudden flood increased the flood pressure in the downstream river channels of Dulan County, affecting the production and life of 5 townships, including Goli Town, Xiangjia Village, Xiangride Township, Balong Village, and Zongjia Township. Footage captured by netizens showed that due to the inability to rescue in time, a large number of livestock died, and the people have suffered heavy losses. Netizens couldn't help but wonder, what's going on? A flood in the winter is too abnormal. Qinghai Province, located on the Qinghai-Tibet Plateau, has a typical plateau continental climate with little precipitation. However, this winter, the water level of rivers near Bula Village, Dulan County, suddenly rose, forming large areas of marshland, with depths of over 1 meter. Such winter floods in semi-arid climates are extremely rare. Experts believe that the unusual climatic phenomena in China in recent years may be related to the northward shift of the rain belt. By analyzing the 50-year precipitation change chart of China from 1972 to 2022, the trend of the northward shift of the rain belt can be clearly observed. For example, precipitation in cities like Beijing, Shijiazhuang, and Taiyuan has remained stable at over 400 millimeters in the past few decades, and even Lanzhou is approaching this precipitation line. This northward shift of the rain belt has led to frequent heavy rains and floods in northern China. At the end of July and the beginning of August last year, northern China, especially the Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei region, experienced heavy rains and floods. For instance, the precipitation in the Beijing area reached the highest level in 140 years, surpassing historical records. On July 31st, 2023, the overall precipitation in Beijing reached 176.9 millimeters, with even higher average precipitation in Mentogou district, reaching 322 millimeters. The highest rainfall was recorded at Highland Rose Garden in Mentogou district, reaching 580.9 millimeters. The journalist observed from the Yongdinghe Bridge in Beijing, noting the tumultuous water currents beneath. In the distance, modular homes were seen being swept away into the river. Severely affected areas also include Zhuozhou, where a large number of people have been affected by the floods, resulting in significant casualties and property losses. Furthermore, another sign of the northward shift of the rain belt is the disappearance of China's 5th largest desert, the Maowu Desert. Located between Yulin, Shanxi, and Ordos City, Inner Mongolia, the Maowu Desert has almost entirely transformed into forests. These abnormal climate phenomena has also been observed nationwide. For example, rainfall in places like Beihai in Guangxi, Kunshan in Jiangsu, Beibei in Chongqing, Yicheng in Hubei, Wuchang and Mudanjiang in Heilongjiang have all reached historical highs. Unusual phenomena in the sky, such as solar eclipses, lunar eclipses, comets, storms, and lightning, which are often referred to as heavenly changes in ancient history books, are believed to be ominous signs foretold by the heavens. There are also less common heavenly changes that receive little attention, such as phenomena that look like the heaven is splitting and celestial sunder, all of which correspond to abnormal events in the human world. In traditional Chinese culture, people believe that changes in nature reflect changes in celestial phenomena, and these changes in celestial phenomena may also affect development and fate of society. Some studies suggest that climate change in Chinese history is closely related to the rise and fall of dynasties. Warm periods are often accompanied by technological and economic progress, while cold climates may lead to chaos and famine. In his article, How Climate Change Shapes History, Dr. Liang Peijian, Doctor of Geography at the University of Exeter and Master of Ecological Environment and Forestry at Imperial College London, suggests that climate change is a catalyst for revolution and regime change. Ancient people understood how to predict the future of a kingdom based on weather divination, realizing that environmental change is crucial to the rise and fall of nations. Over the 5,000 years of Chinese history, there have been many changes in dynasties. Independent writer Zhuge Mingyang told the Epoch Times, climate anomalies, natural disasters, plagues, all indicate that the Chinese communist regime is heading towards disintegration. From the perspective of China's social structure, everything the current CCP leader does is leading to its demise. Politically, it's veering left with severe financial and economic downturns, international isolation of the CCP, and various social extremist events occurring frequently, all signs of the CCP's self-destruction.